The GENie EC calibration gas system is composed of three parts: the GENie EC module, the base unit, and a generating source. In this case, we have a chlorine gas generating source. Its range is 0.5 to 50 parts per million. When you order one of these units, it comes to you completely assembled and ready to go. But for this video, we are showing you how to take them apart, because you may have to take them apart to change generating cells, because you can buy several different types of generating cells to put into this instrument. And as you can see on the back side of this, this is where you change the battery. So it runs on 4 AA batteries. This is the interface between the base unit and the module, and you can see these shoulder bolts slide into these slots, and then you press down. So we're going to put our two halves together first. Okay. So you take the unit like that, push those in, and then slide the module up. Okay. When I turn this over, you can see where the generating cell or source module goes. It's keyed, so it's got these sets of pins mate to these pins here to make an electrical connection. If I try to put it in this way, I can't. It won't let me put it in, so it's foolproof. Oh, one problem we've had in the past is sometimes people have taken these blue caps off and poured the liquid in here, and that's bad for our electronics. So leave the caps on. They're just there to top off with water in the future or whatever. So press this cell down in there, and it makes connection. And then you close this case, right? If I can get it closed, okay. You shut that over. A couple things to point out to you. This is the fresh air intake, so the air comes into the unit through this spot here. Here we have attached a charcoal filter so that we ensure that fresh air is coming in. If you have a clean background and you know it, you don't need these. If you may have dirty background air that's already, in this case we have a chlorine generator, if there might be chlorine in the air, you want to eliminate that because it will add to our calibration gas. So if there was 1 ppm chlorine in this room and you turned it on to 5, you'd be getting 6 out. So this charcoal filter ensures that that doesn't happen. Here's the outlet of the calibration gas, so that's where your chlorine gas in this case comes out, calibration gas. And it comes with a 5-foot hose with a quick connect fitting like that, so that's connected to the top of the unit. And then the other end of this hose simply would have the calibration adapter for whatever manufacturer you have. If you have different manufacturers, you just plug in those calibration adapters to the top of this unit, to the end of this hose rather, and attach them to your sensors for calibration. This button here is to eject the generating cell when you're done. And over here we've got a continuous operation adapter port for people that do lots of calibrations in one spot, so you can just plug it into mains power and run the unit. Okay. So once we've got the generating cell inside of the instrument, what we want to do is turn it on. So to power up the unit, you press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. It shows you the serial numbers, the manufactured and calibration dates of not just the base unit but also the source. All right, and it defaults to the last concentration and flow rate that the unit's been run at. So whoever ran this unit last had a unit set to 20 parts per million, 0.5 liters per minute flow. All right, I can set the output anywhere between 0.5 and 50 parts per million, and I can set the flow anywhere between 0.2 and 1 liters per minute. And if I'm calibrating a sample draw unit, I can shut the pump off and then let the attach the GENie unit to the sensor that's got a sample draw unit. It will measure the flow rate for me, and then I can set the output anywhere I want to. All right. So as you see, this is running 0.5 liter a minute, 0.5 and 20. All right. So after this counts down past 10, or past 10, it's going down. When it gets to 0, it's stable and ready to calibrate. So here you'll see, instead of flashing stabilizing, it'll now read, okay, we're making 20 parts per million chlorine. That's your hint, your clue that we're ready to calibrate. So now it's ready to calibrate. So we run around our facility, we calibrate we have one brand that is all 20 parts per million. We go calibrate all those. We're all done. Now we've got another brand of sensors that wants 5 parts per million, let's say. So if I want to change the output, I hit the select button. The flow, it says flow select to change, so that shows me between 0.2 and 1. I'm going to change the flow just to show you to 1 liter per minute. Maybe this brand wants 1 liter per minute flow. And then it's showing 20 parts per million. I'm going to assume for this example that this brand wants 5 ppm. So I go to 5 parts per million. Now I've changed the flow rate and the concentration, so the unit has to restabilize, okay? So it's going to show me I've got 50% life. You know, the pump ramping up because I ask it for 1 liter a minute. It's going to count down for 20 seconds, and then it'll be stabilized, okay? All right, so then you'll see it now. It locks in, 5 parts per million chlorine. We can go calibrate everything we want to. Anytime you want to see data, you can just hit the select button. It shows you the flow rate. It shows you the concentration, and then also shows you the source life, which says it's got 50 hours and 17 minutes remaining, and then the battery status, which is 36% remaining. All right, we're done for the day. If I want to shut this unit off, I press and hold the power button. Now it purges. The purge cycle is just to get any of the corrosive gas out of there. This is chlorine. Our other gases, H2S, HCN, hydrogen, all these gases, you want them purged out and out of the system. So it will automatically shut itself off. You don't have to wait for it. Once you've got to the purge cycle, it's going to shut itself off. And then I'm going to make you wait to see this just so I can show you how to eject the cell at the end. And put it away if you wish. You can leave it in there if you like. All right, so it's all done. To open this, you slightly lift up. I'm lifting toward the screen and then push it open. All right. Then I turn this over and I push down on this eject button. When I push it down, you can see that the cell is now somewhat ejected, and I can just grab it. I can put it in a different cell, or I can put it in a pouch on my fanny pack, and we're ready to go. And that's how you use a GENie EC.